I am Shira Stardrift. I'm a medicine woman. I am an integration mentor, an initiated womb healer, a writer, and a budding musician. I spent the first probably 35 years of my life as an addict. And I had a major life initiation, and that breaking open brought me into the healing world, and plant medicine found me. I was pulled along on a path, and plant medicine was a part of that. And mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms, have always been in my field, but I would say my first entry into really deep healing was through ayahuasca. And then throughout the years, as I became an herbalist, I'm also a folk herbalist, mushrooms would arrive and I would use them and I would start handing them out, and they were shifting my life. But essentially I went from addict, and I wouldn't say overnight, it's been a 10-year process, back into the wholeness of myself, and plant medicine has been at the forefront of that. I always have said to people that it's often when you have nowhere else to go that you finally find the way, and then you end up meeting what lives on the fray. And it is that medicine woman, it is that medicine person, it is that edge where essentially I see where we cast even parts of ourselves to. In order to come back to wholeness, there's a lot to break down. And so I think of like a labyrinth, right? You kind of weave in and out, and eventually, you get back to the edge. You go into the center, you get back to the edge, and you think you've gone somewhere, but then you have to go even further. And it's a process of peeling away the layers. And a lot of those layers are countercultural layers. There are these pieces that we've learned, that we've been indoctrinated into, that have taken us far away from our true self. And if there's anyone in society that has kind of maintained that, they've suffered a bad rap. They're like the crazy hippies or the wild medicine woman in the woods. And they're living very countercultural, which is very scary, because to be countercultural, to go to the edge, threatens that part of our survival that feels like we're going to be cast out or abandoned. And at that edge is actually, you find the only thing and the place that could never abandon you. And that's the wild, the fear of the wild, that birthing place, earth, nature. I think as we move further into this incredible research around what psychedelics can do, we are at a very critical moment where we can choose to weave the ways that these medicines have always been tended by Indigenous peoples into what is happening now, or we can step fully into that rigid box that we're actually trying to use psychedelics to get out of, and eliminate the holistic framework that these medicines really flourish in, which is what the medicine woman or the medicine person archetype holds. They hold these medicines as a centerpiece of a ceremonial life that honors right relationship, reciprocity with all things, life-inclusive ways of being. And in all of these, we then, as we use these medicines, bring to life that one thing that no matter how much science throws, research at this, that mystery of why is it truly that they make us feel better? What is that sense of belonging, and where does it come from again? And when you're working with a holistic practitioner who can weave in the initiatory process of walking with the medicine person archetype or medicine woman archetype, along with the education that is available now to bring these worlds together, to make it available and approachable, you bring a transmission of something deeper. You bring a transmission of life and that mystery seed. And we keep something sacred and special alive. What happens when we take psilocybin and extract it and put it in a pill, and we are then, like I said, we're stepping back into that rigid model of black and white, dissection, fear. And even though this medicine heals, because it is medicine, even an extracted molecule is going to heal in a way that our current SSRIs and pharmaceuticals can't, it is going to miss something that is actually the undercurrent of these medicines are trying to support evolution. And if we are keeping things in a box and not weaving, we're not moving towards evolution and not going through the entire healing process, in my opinion. I run women's circles, and I always say that we are forever part of a circle that has been forever unbroken. When women gather in a circle, we come back into this archetypal energy that awakens unity consciousness, like the potential of what it is to be in community and support each other again. And women's circles have been the birthing place, have been that portal for that medicine to come forth in our communities. It's where we weave, it's where we share stories, it's where we teach each other how to support the children and the earth and make medicine and really allow our gifts to flourish. Women need to heal together. When women are divided, our earth and all of the people on it will be divided, period. I always say that when a woman is centered in and listening to her womb, which is part of that circle, all of life returns to balance, beginning with hers, and then it just radiates out. It's a ripple effect. Like I feel chosen to steward this medicine and to educate people and walk a path of devotion and honor my ancestors, and that I did not think that I would actually live. There was a point where I thought I was going to die. And I am living centered in a life of community and love, and healing is forever. I don't ever want to be healed because I want to stay in the wonder of what's around the next corner. I want to keep listening and unfolding. But I love my life, and I would do it all over again because of what I've arrived to. And I thank the earth and the plants and my inner being, my inner wisdom.